All right, everyone. Last time we talked about the power of the nervous system in actually strengthening our muscles. Talked about visualization. Talked about mind-body unity. I'd like to carry those themes a little farther today. And so, again, last time I mentioned Moshe Feldenkrais. So I'm going to refer you to an experience he had that was a seminal experience. And Moshe Feldenkrais had destroyed one of his knees in a soccer accident, terrible damage to the ligaments and the cartilage, and really had a very non-functional and painful knee. And after a while, after a few years or after some time, the other knee bearing all the weight, he actually was able to damage it too. So on the day that he damaged the second knee, he had difficulty getting home, getting upstairs to his apartment, went to bed depressed, thinking that he was not going to be able to walk anymore. When he got up in the morning, got cautiously out of bed, and he found that the knee that had not been able to support his weight at all for so long, weeks or months, could now bear his weight almost pain-free. And he marveled at that. And he couldn't quite understand that at first, but actually that became a seminal event in his life, and he devoted the rest of his life to understanding that and to helping others understand the significance of what had happened there. So the nervous system, he found, was actually capable of reorganizing his movement to the extent that he could function with a terribly damaged knee. So he, as I say, he spent a lot of time studying that, and we won't go into all of that, but from that process, he was a scientist, did a lot of personal experimentation. He used himself as the guinea pig for experimentation to actually discover a little bit more of what had happened there. So that's obviously makes us think that the nervous system is extremely important in governing our movement and in allowing us to function in the way we want. Now, Moshe Feldenkrais actually was able to practice judo after that because of the research he did and the things he learned. So I'm going to relate a little bit of a similar incident. Now, before I do, you may have had a similar incident in your life where you go to bed one way and things wake up a little bit different than you thought, but perhaps you didn't devote the rest of your life to studying how that happened. So I fell off a roof about 20 years ago, broke my right ankle, had to actually get by on that ankle for quite a while. Eventually was surgically repaired successfully, but during that time I developed a right knee problem. And of course the surgeon who did such a good job on my ankle had no idea how to help me with the knee problem. So the first thing I did was go to physical therapy, and the first physical therapist I went to was very sincere, but they made it worse. And so eventually I found a physical therapist who was an ultra runner, who understood what I needed, and he also had a minimal working knowledge of the Feldenkrais method. So I had already researched that a little bit online, but didn't understand it thoroughly, and he introduced me to that method, and he actually had the experience to know how to help me with what I needed. And now, over 20 years later, at 70, I can run a very long time. I'm not the same as when I was 18 or 20, but I can do what I want. And so that is the significance of what we're talking about here today, is that the nervous system actually governs our function. And I'm going to give you a very slight experience of how we can use that, and how we can use that if we learn a bit about it, learn a bit about self-awareness and mind-body unity, and how to engage the nervous system in learning, how we can use that to continue to do the things that we love. And in other words, if we know what we're doing, Moshe used to say, we can do what we want. So would you please, of course don't do this if you're injured or if you have any hesitation to hop, but what I'm going to ask you to do is shift your weight to one side, to one leg, and take a couple quick hops down the room. 2 hops only 2. And then I want you to come back to where you were standing, stand normally, and I want you to actually wait about 15 seconds. So I'm going to just sit here right now, and I'm going to give you an actual 15 seconds. Alright, so somewhere in there is roughly 15 seconds. Now go ahead and hop again. I hope you had actually noticed how you felt on the first hop, if you weren't prepared for that. Now hop again and hop down the room. And if you paid attention to the first time and you're paying attention right now, you will probably find that only slowing down for 15 seconds, only giving the nervous system that much time to organize that movement, that the second time you did it, it was better than the first. You can try that on the other side. You probably chose the side you were more favorable to hopping on in the first place. So choose the other side, take a couple hops, notice how that was, pay a lot of attention to how that felt. Was it balanced? Was it strong? Did you not quite feel right on your feet, or exactly how did you feel? And then take that 15 seconds, try it again, hop down the room. And if you're paying attention, no doubt you will notice some improvement. And all you didn't get any stronger, you didn't exercise your feet, all you did was give the brain a few seconds to better organize that movement. So that's going to be one of the things that we'll pursue next time, is how do you actually how do you improve your movement? How do you engage the nervous system to improve enough so that you can do things with less pain, if that's an issue, so that you can do things with more perceived strength, better alignment, and so that you can have longevity in doing the things you want. How do you engage the nervous system? So the nervous system, if I had not discovered some of these things myself, I'm actually discovering the work of somebody else, but if I had not discovered them myself, I would not be able to run. I couldn't run 20 years ago very well, and I would not be able to do what I can do now at 70 if I hadn't learned a few things about the power of the nervous system. So we're going to end it right there. I hope you can kind of play around with these ideas from the first and the second video, trying to make them kind of practical and short. So good night for tonight.